really, we're not doing a whole lot of solving here. What we're doing with special systems is we're classifying them. Okay, we're classifying them as one of these four different systems right here. All right, and what that means is we're looking for systems that either have one solution, no solutions, or infinite number of solutions. And remember what that means. That means that if I have a graph, all right, if I have no solutions, then that means that these two lines, as best as I can draw them on this tablet, are parallel, okay, which means they're never going to intersect. All right, if I have one solution, then of course those two lines are going to intersect at one place. And if I have infinite number of solutions, that means that I basically just have overlapping lines, and they intersect at all places along that line. So we want to say, okay, well, what type of system is this, and can I do this without having to necessarily solve this? So if I look at this right here, all right, we want to see that this has no solution to it whatsoever. Well, if I put this other equation right here in slope-intercept form, and see right now I'm in standard form, so I have negative x plus y equals 3. If I add the x to both sides, then we have y equals x plus 3. So then my system looks like this. Y equals x minus 4, and y equals x plus 3. Well, therefore, now I can see that there's no solution. How can I see there's no solution to this? They have the same slope, okay? So these are parallel lines, they have the same slope, and so therefore, if I looked at this on a graph, we would see that these two lines are never going to intersect each other. So there's no solution. We come over here, we say, okay, well, this has got infinitely number of solutions. So basically what I'm saying is that this has got to be basically the same equation. So if I take this 3x minus y plus 2 equals 0, if I put it in slope-intercept form, by adding this y to both sides, then I have 3x plus 2 equals y, or y equals 3x plus 2. So if I rewrite this system, then of course we have the same equations. And so therefore the same lines, infinite number of solutions. All right, now, the other thing I wanted to show you too is that this is one way to show this. The other way to have shown this would have been, let's just solve it algebraically. Just like we did over there on the board, by substitution, if I put this in over here, then we have 3x minus what y is equal to, which is 3x plus 2 equals 0. If I distribute that negative to each one of these terms, then I have minus 3x minus 2 plus 2 equals 0. Well, these all are going to cancel out, and I have 0 equals 0. And that shows the infinite number of solutions. Okay? It doesn't mean that there's no solution, and that's what this is guarding against right here on this next slide. 0 equals 0 is a true statement. It doesn't mean that there's no solutions. All right? So, an independent solution. So, a consistent system means that it has a solution. Okay? A consistent system is going to have one of two different types of systems. Independent, which means there is only one answer, and a dependent system, which means that there's infinitely number of solutions. All right, so consistent means there is an answer. Inconsistent means that there's no solutions. So this is kind of the guide here, okay? If it's consistent and independent, that means there's one solution, because consistent means there's solutions. There's an answer to it. But you have one of two categories, either one answer or infinite number of answers. So consistent and independent means that this is exactly one. The slopes are different. They intersect one solution. Consistent and dependent, infinite number of solutions, same slope, coinciding lines. This is the same equations. All right, and inconsistent, same slope, Different y-intercepts, parallel lines, no intersections. Does that make sense? So, let's just do this one right here and then we'll call it a day. All right? On your homework, you only have, I think, six questions. All right? It says classify the system and give the number of solutions. On the homework, it's going to say explain why. Now, you can do this one of two ways. You can either show in the equation itself, where if I put both of these in slope-intercept form, if I divided everything by 3 here, then y would equal 1 over 3x plus 1. If I added the 1 over 3x here, then y equals 1 over 3x plus 1. So I have the same equation, which means that I have an infinite number of solutions. And I'm going to classify this as it is consistent because it has a solution, and it's going to be dependent because there's an infinite number of them. And this is sufficient for doing that explanation if you did it this way. The other way you could do it is just algebraically if you wanted to. All right, which would mean that if I solved this top equation for y, we already said that we would have y equals positive 1 over 3x plus 1. If I took that and plugged it in down here, we would have negative 1 over 3x plus what y equals, which is 1 over 3x plus 1, and that equals 1. Well, these two would eliminate. 1 equals 1, therefore I know I have an infinite number of solutions, and it's consistent with equal. So either way you decide to do the explanation, it's fine with me. I want you to practice that because you'll have to do that on the quiz and the test. But do you have any questions? Okay. Now,